Hello everyone, welcome back to Last Call BBS. I thought we would start today inside 20th century food court so we didn't have to wait for the loading. Next up is Meat+3. Historians are divided on the origin of the traditional southern meat and three, though most agree that each of the various sides, as they were called, held great spiritual significance as representations of mankind's sins. I've never heard of this. I don't know if this is a real southern thing, or a thing that, was creatively misunderstood in the game universe or whatever. Let's see. Oh my gosh. 4 dispensers, huh? 5, I guess. We have a bowl. Mac. I thought this would say cheese, but it says greens. Mac, slaw, greens, beans, meat, bowl. Goodness, we need a lot of things. So how are they going to order this? Cook the meat. Oh, I see. There are 4 sides, and you choose 3 of them, I guess. And you plate it all with a meat, which has to be cooked for 4 ticks. And what gets put in a bowl? Each of the sides goes in a bowl. Okay. Do we have any weird new machines, or just these dispensers? Okay, there's a grill, but I assume it's basically just a fryer. Yeah. Everything else looks pretty normal. Okay. And I guess, this is a freezer because it's got the meat in it. Okay, that makes sense. So... It seems like... Well... We're always going to have the same number of total items on the tray, right? There's going to be the tray, the meat, and 3 sides. So 5 total things are going to get stacked on the output. And there's a pretty simple, oh, wait a minute. There's only one, well, no, this is fine. There's one bowl dispenser. So, a thing you could imagine doing, maybe, would be I don't know. If we had 4 bowl dispensers, we could maybe have no, I don't know. Let's back up. A thing you could imagine, which we don't want to do, would be put a sensor in front of each of these, and then as a bowl goes through it, you fill it up. And only send a bowl through if you want it filled up, and that way you don't need any sequencers or whatever. But since we don't have that, we have instead a single bowl dispenser that's going to kind of have to be routed through all 4. Okay, in principle, if we really wanted to and we had unlimited space, we could use routers to dodge the ones we don't want filling stuff up. But I think it seems much more natural to just have a sequencer for each of the 4 sides. So if someone asks for, what is this? Is this Mac? Have I reordered these or not? I have no idea. What are the things? We have Mac, slaw, greens, and beans. Okay, so it's unclear whether this one looks more like beans. This looks more like mac and cheese, right? Slaw and greens. Okay. So we can have a sequencer that is triggered when someone asks for mac. And what that does is dispense a bowl and then launch the mac, right? We can have another one fired when someone asks for slaw. And what that one does is like launch a bowl, wait a tick, and then dispense the slaw, right? Now, an obvious problem with that is that if they all dispense a bowl at the beginning, they'll overload this thing, right? Or, well, the mixer for this will be fed 4 inputs, but it'll only dispense one thing. However, I'm pretty sure what we can do is say, like, if you're dispensing slaw, or if you're dispensing mac, let's say, you get to send out the bowl on tick 1. If you're dispensing slaw, you get to send out the bowl on tick 2. Although it seems, for some reason, I don't know if there is a good reason for this, but it seems more pretty to have them all go out, like, to have this one go out first, this second, this third, so that they all fill up at the same time? I don't know if there's a compelling reason to do that or a compelling reason to avoid it. Or perhaps neither. Because all the bowls are going to have the same total distance to the exit. So I don't think it really matters which one gets dispensed first. We just have to make sure that there's room before the stacker here. And, okay, so I was thinking the other day about the relative costs of scanners, sensors and sorters as ways to detect something. Has the sorter always been 10,000? I thought it was 5 a minute ago. I don't know. I thought it was 5? Not a minute ago, but like last video or whatever. Maybe there was some update. Maybe I just like don't remember properly. Well, I was going to say, like, okay, a conveyor belt costs 5,000 anyway. So a conveyor belt plus a sensor costs the same amount as a sorter. But the sorter, you need to multiplex its sense input because it needs to send it to itself to the kick out thing as well. So I don't know. I think if you want a one-directional thing, we just use a sensor. Oh, I could move all this closer, I guess. Now let's see, the tray necessarily gets here before anything coming out of here, no matter what. Which is good. And this takes an extra 4 ticks of cooking. So even if, like, the mac were dispensed at the same time, we'd get here at the same time the meat gets here, and then it spends 4 ticks. During which time we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're well ahead of it. So we don't have to worry about the meat getting there before the sides at all. So I don't think there are going to be any collisions with this setup. Could it go any faster? I don't think so. Well, actually, If we made this a sorter instead, it would cost us a tiny bit more money, maybe. But the meat would be ready sooner, and I think that's the bottleneck still, right? If these go off at the same time, we get here when it starts cooking, and then we go 1, 2, 3. We're here when it finishes cooking. Yeah, we still... Okay. So make this a sorter then. Which, again, is being done... Well, wait a minute. Do we need that? I guess the problem is we can't really otherwise detect when... Because if we know the meat... Okay. I had this idea for, like, doing what we've done on several previous puzzles, where we count how many items are supposed to go to the stacker, and then when that reaches 0, we dispense, right? But what if we could detect when the last thing is coming in? Then we might not need that timer. But I guess we would still need a sequencer, and that's even more, well, similarly expensive? At least as expensive. Okay. So... Alright, let's just do some stuff that seems obvious, and then if it turns out we're wrong somehow, then fine. So start does a couple things. It dispenses a meat, and it sets our timer for the meat, which reads +4, and the sensor, as long as it senses, sends a -1. When this goes to 0, it ejects, right? So that cooks the meat properly. Okay, the sorter isn't plugged in, so fine. But if it were, we wouldn't have any trouble. Right now, we'll just say, if you send something, send stuff straight through. Indeed. So we're going to have to elaborate on the sorter stuff later, but this is enough to get the meat there in time. And I think we need 4 sequencers. There's not much... There's no two ways about it for this stuff. The good news is, I don't think we need mixers for any of these... We're also going to need another timer, or counter, which is for the stacker. But yeah, let's just throw that in now before I forget. Wait, no? And then... Alright, this sorter needs a mixer, so that when it senses, it can tell itself to go straight, and also tell the counter to go down. So now... we know we're waiting for 3 sides. Perfect. Okay. I thought briefly, like, wait a minute, do I actually need these for conveyor belts? I think if I were trying to save money instead of time, I could avoid them by sliding the tray over onto this thing instead of having it use its own, right? Like these 2 I could get rid of, but it would cost me time. Because it would be weird. I would have to slow down how I dispense this so there's not a solid block of bowls. And also make sure I don't collide with the meat. It would definitely slow things down. But I think it's possible. Anyway, so if they ask for Mac, Mac will say gets to go last. So, okay. Oh, how nice. I can have these things. Put the bowl all the way to the left. Mac, slaw, greens, beans. So if they ask for Mac, okay, yeah, you can get rid. I couldn't remember. You can get rid of these. Okay. If they ask for slaw, they ask for greens, they ask for beans. So A on all of them is going to be a bowl. So we need a mixer for that. All right, let's put the bowl over here. And B on each of them is going to be dispensing the appropriate snack, or side, I should say. So and they're all going to be at the same time, right? I.e. here. That was why I chose this, just because it's pretty. Ah, stop it! And so they just have different. Hey, you don't do that. They just have different meanings for B, but the B's are all the same thing. Or, like, at the same time. Alright, I mean, I hesitate to say, but, like, this might be done. Let's see what happens. Wait, why did it take so long? What are they ordering this time? They're not ordering beans, which are the thing we dispense first. So we've started all these off. And these sequencers don't trigger until the next tick, I guess? No, this is right. There's just a 1 tick gap. Well, I don't know. It seems like they could have gone a little faster. I guess there must be a gap on the sequencers anyway. So bloop, bloop. And then splort. And then it all lines up. Perfect. Wait, I'm confused. Why was there... Oh, there's that little lag there because I was wrong about how fast... about there being no race with the meat, because I didn't realize there was a delay on the sequencers. So there actually is a delay, but the sorter kind of implicitly blocks stuff leading into it. Is that true? It's meat, it's 3, what's not to like? I've always heard this about the South, but never really knew about it. Now I feel like I have truly experienced Southern culture. Naming a region after a relative direction seems kind of loopy, but what are you going to do with those ancient humans? Yeah, okay, so did pretty well on time, as you know, as well as can be seen at this resolution, although maybe we could go a bit further left. Cost, pretty normal. So let's say the sorter never ejected. What would happen to all this backup stuff? Okay, yeah. But so why then... Here, shouldn't it, like, just go? It does go. Right. Because this is... There's no beans. But when there are beans, somehow the beans get delayed waiting for the meat? Yeah, see, the beans and the meat both tried to go on at the same time. And I feel like it stops this too somehow. Yeah. Huh. So stuff is not normally allowed to collide, but apparently the sorter somehow provides back pressure? Interesting. Now, I have a radical idea for improvement here. What if, like, you can... Ah, you can't do this. Wouldn't let me put it down. I was thinking, what if we took this and put it like here? So we could reuse the same belt for all of this. Maybe you could do that, actually. There's just enough room here that you can do this, right? And there still won't be any collisions because we're letting the tray get on first. Should be interesting. But let's reorder these the way they were before. So Mac is number 1. We're going to have to fix the timings, obviously. And then I was putting slaw, greens, and beans, right? So this is all going to go wrong because they're going to... I did actually spray some stuff. It wasn't... It was even the right stuff. This... I guess this is right, isn't it? Because... they're all in the same order still. And they're the same number of delay ticks after the ejection. Yeah, this is just the same thing, but faster. Or using fewer conveyor belts anyway, not faster, I think. I'm just kind of admiring this. Yeah, saved me some money. Look at that. Saved me, as you might expect, 15,000 bucks. Now, I still think... Well, no, I was going to say we could save a time unit by not... I don't know. How could you save time on this? Because... Well... So we could dispense the sides a tick faster, I guess, right? If we really wanted to. We could spend a little bit more money on that. And have the Mac feed directly to the bowl dispenser. And also to a sequencer that dispenses Mac eventually. Or I guess it would be beans, right? That would immediately dispense the bowl. And then, if we did all that, the sides would all get there one tick faster. Would that matter? I don't think it actually would. Because the meat gets there so much sooner than all of it, right? We only have one bowl dispenser. So something you might imagine doing would be like dispensing bowls closer to the exit so you can pile on the sides faster, right? Like, I mean, a thing we could do would be this. We could have one of the dispensers be here. Although the timing is going to be awkward because this thing buffers. And it would mean we couldn't use this conveyor belt either. Because, well, we could, but if we dispense like this, the bowl gets here at the same time, potentially, as the tray. Although, actually, it doesn't, right? Because the tray comes out immediately, whereas this is still on a delay because we're using sequencers. Is it possible that I can just run this and it'll also be fine? No. Well, I guess so. I thought I might have accidentally splorted on the meat there, but I guess not. I'm not sure this is any faster, but it must be, right? I just took the exact same design and removed one tick of delay from it. I don't know if that delay mattered, because they're still waiting for the meat anyway, right? But it should have saved 5,000 bucks. Yeah? Time is still 12. Okay. Is it possible I could maybe stack some stuff on the tray, the sides, before the meat gets here? Probably not, right? Because we have this I don't know, even if I did, what would be the point? We'd still be waiting for the meat, right? Or for the Mac? This happens to be the fastest, order number 2, because it's the one where the meat slides into the gap in between the sides without any delay. Now, see, what if I had... What if I could put a stacker here? It would mess up the timing of all this stuff, right? I think we can speed it up by at least one more tick by making the bean optimization I proposed earlier. Of having the bean dispense the bowl instantly and moving everyone else up a tick. In fact, we could get rid of the sequencer if we do that. It could just be a mixer, right? Or no, it still has to be a we still need a sequencer to delayed dispense the beans themselves. But the input to this... Oh, it even lights up. Nice, okay. Which, of course, is the bean signal. Should instead go to a mixer. which dispenses a bowl, so we need another mixer for that. Oh, no, we don't. What am I talking about? I was thinking, oh, we already have 4 inputs to this, we need another mixer, but of course this one no longer is needed, right? Oh, but now it's going to collide with the tray. Because I scooted this all in, right? If they order any beans. Yeah. So this whole idea is silly, I think. Put everything back the way it was. How will I even know when I'm done undoing? Okay, that? Am I back to a correct solution now? Alright, fast, please. Okay, I think I'll leave it at that. See if I can get in Café Triste, the Parisian cafe, in this episode. Many of the 20th century's greatest and most famous writers spent time in Parisian cafes, drinking coffee and munching on small burritos stuffed with dried leaves called cigarettes. Sit here and let the bohemian atmosphere wash over you. Alright, what must I do today? Oh, just make the food du jour every day. Okay. Oh, so we are making cigarettes. I see. Okay. Tray, paper, cup. Cover with leaves, roll paper, slice in half, and then slice in half again. Okay, so we're making coffee and cigarettes, right? So we have to roll up a cigarette and then cut it into fourths? It looks like there are 8 of these, though. It's kind of weird. Okay, there's only one order, which looks to me like 8 cigarettes and a coffee. So I guess we're supposed to learn about looping today, right? That's very much what the theme of the things we're supposed to do are. And for some reason it says, give me the du jour. I don't know, there's just 2 inputs that both do the same thing. Not really sure why. Just sort of to emphasize that no one knows what du jour means, maybe? So that's a cup dispenser, a paper dispenser. Where did the leaves come from? Here, obviously. Alright, just show me where the leaves come from. They come from here. Oh, for some reason I thought this was a grinder. But I see I can order no rollers and slicers. Ah, an espresso machine. Okay, so I thought I had a grinder. I don't. I have an espresso machine. The cigarettes are the hard part, I think. It's also very weird. What is this? This is not a dispenser for leaves. Or it is, but not in the sense that, like, we have these things that output items. This adds leaves to an item going under it. Like the candy dispenser for donuts, for example. Well, the natural approach, I think, for handling the slicer is... Boy, it's so crowded here. Basically to have, like, this thing... I mean, I don't know. Ugh. I guess I can do this. And then feed this into a router. Which also has a sensor attached to it to count how many times we've sent something through. I just need to double check that, like, the idea is, how many times do we need to divert back up here? How many things do we have to cut in half? Well, we started with one thing and we end with 8 things, so we must have cut it in half 7 times. Either a large piece or a small piece was cut in half 7 times. And I think... maybe... well, actually, what even gets dispensed here? Just a tray. Probably shouldn't slice that. But okay, we'll do something like this, but with the paper dispenser or whatever. Or... I guess after I roll the paper? After I cover it with leaves and slice it. Or, and roll it up. Yes, okay, that makes sense. But that seems very simple, right? Or maybe the reason they only say to slice it in half twice is because there really is only enough paper there for 4 cigarettes, and so you have to dispense paper twice. Yikes. That's the coffee, don't roll that up. So I just need to understand how this even works, honestly. So yeah, we didn't dispense the leaves, I understand. For now, let's just do this. Can't be sliced because we're supposed to roll it first. Yes, I thought I had put in a roller, but I guess what I put in was a slicer? Why does it keep... oh, it's getting mad about the tray. Yeah, so there it is on the floor. if I slice this up, and then slice that up, I mean, those look too small to slice again, right? If I try, obviously this is not how we're going to design the factory. I'm just trying to understand, like, the requirements. If I try, I bet it'll complain and say, sorry, you can't slice this up anymore. Yes. Okay, so we're meant to dispense paper twice. And then cut each one into quarters. Well, maybe we don't have to do any looping then. I thought for eighths, it would be pretty tough to manage to put down like 7 slicers. But if we only need 3 slicers, we can probably just route between them, right? Or not even route, just like use the belts to collect the outputs and jam them together. It's still tricky. Like, there's a lot of, it takes a lot of space. These slicers are not very convenient. You know what, though? Maybe I can just put 4 slicers in. They cost a lot of money, obviously. But I think it might actually save space over trying to route around through... Well, maybe not. Okay, so let's say we start way up here. Yeah, a sensor is no more expensive than a sequencer. Well, a sequencer slows things down, though, doesn't it? So if we do this, we just need to slice one more time. But we can either do it like this, which, by the way, is going to have a problem. Oh, I'm not even dispensing. Give me back the sensor. Because these two are going to collide now, right? Yeah. And so if I put a sorter there, does that suddenly become allowed? No. It feels like sometimes you're allowed to have multiple things get to a sorter at the same time, but not others. I don't really know. Anyway, the point is this simple system doesn't quite work because they come out at the same time. We could try delaying like this. But it's like, it's hard to even reconnect them, right? So I think it's worth looking into whether you can possibly just use the same slicer 3 times. It's sort of hard to believe, isn't it? But maybe not. Because each output of this could feed back into here. Now, we'd actually want to do it a little more slowly on one side to make sure they don't collide. And then we could just make this and this be sorters, for example, right? And we need to make space for all the other stuff to happen. But if these were sorters which went through once and then bumped to the side on the second go, then this thing would be outputting too. We'd have to make sure we don't interfere with the next... Oh my god, my timing is going to be awful! Because we have to make sure we get all this cutting done before the second cigarette pile comes through. And that's going to have to, like, restart the sensors, so it really is going to it can't go at the same time as we're cutting up the first 4 cigarettes, right? We have to wait so they don't cross-contaminate each other's information and counters and stuff. Good news, we can have this sensor feed into the timers for these, or the counters for these things. Can we just use the same timer for both of them? No, right? I mean, they're both... Okay, but I think this makes more sense than trying to use 3 slicers. Or even 2. God, 2 would be so nice though, wouldn't it? We could get rid of so much wiring. Maybe that's worth doing. Or at least trying a little harder for. So one other thing to note, I guess, is we can save ourselves a little bit of space down there. By cramming all this stuff in the top 2 rows instead of the top 3, right? Where can I even fit another slicer, though? Okay, maybe I want to do this in the other order? So that I have this space to work with? Or maybe that. Then I can put another slicer here. And that avoids a race to get into the slicer, right? And with a stacker here, plus some other path to the stacker like that, I can just join in. Now the problem is I have to make the coffee in this space. How does the espresso machine work? Can I do it... like, without having to go through the machine multiple times? Is it like a... like the wine dispenser where you can just squirt 2 things of wine onto it, or... I guess let's find out. What the hell? It can't go vertical? Come on, man! Why you do this? Oh, it was so close. I don't have any horizontal space to work with in this layout. Okay, let's just, for fun though, oh my gosh, what? Alright, so it does have actually, like... it does do, I think, all 4 things without having to eject. Grind 4 times and then extract. So it doesn't want to steam. I guess we're going to be making a latte some other day, maybe. So, but let's just for fun, let's see if we actually make the cigarettes properly. We're only expecting to make 4 cigarettes here instead of 8, obviously. Yeah, so that looks fine. And we just need a sequencer to do that twice. So don't just dispense paper. Well, a mixer to do it quickly. As you can see, we're very excited about... oh, it doesn't even need a mixer because this has 2 outputs. I can use the same output twice. Oh, but I need a mixer for the paper input. That's true. Well, I don't know. Why am I trying to optimize something that's not going to matter because we're going to have to change it all? So dispense a paper. And also wait a few ticks to dispense another paper. I don't know, that many? Is that enough? Very scientific. Probably only has to be a couple. There's gonna be collisions here, maybe? I guess not. Ah. Oh, see, these 2 backed up. I don't know why that's allowed sometimes. Huh. Could I have waited 1 fewer tick? Okay. And I guess there are other problems with this as well, such as, like... wait a minute. Am I dumb? I just realized I've been using sensors to count how many things have gone onto a stacker before. The stacker has this output that says it's stacked. I guess my question is stack high, like, as long as it has stacked at least 1 thing? Or is it high only the instant that it stacks something? Like, if I said this, it counts 0. 1. Oh my god. I've been using sensors for no reason on all of these. It just counts how many items it's stacked. Okay, well, that simplifies my life. Not on this puzzle, though. Well, it does, but my life is still sad. For what it's worth, we can throw away this sensor now. And get the leaves on like that, I think. Yeah. Okay, well, since we appear to desperately need space and have plenty of room for wiring, it seems I should try to make do with just one slicer. Which would mean I can do this, right? Put probably sorters here. And here. To send it back into this slicer only if it's the first time we've seen this input. And since these two... Wait, do they have to be out of sync? What would happen if I did this? Do they collide, or... Oh, and let's not dispense the second paper today. Oh, that's not going to work, because I have to also turn off the leaves. Come on. Because if they're going to play nice with each other, this isn't too bad, right? They do. Somehow this kind of side loading is allowed sometimes, and I still haven't figured out when. Now, obviously, this is going to be no good because you can't slice it, but this isn't really what we want. We want sorters. So, if I do this, they come out of these. They both hit these at the same time the first time. The second time, they arrive at different intervals, or different whatever. So I could use routers here to reset them somewhat more permanently. Wait a minute. What exactly am I putting on this thing? This is just a cup dispenser. Do I have to send leaves here? They're using tea leaves for their cigarettes? Oh, that's... I don't know what I'm grinding. Is that a tiny little cigarette under there, or what? Let me go read the level text again. Drinking coffee, munching on small burritos. Oh, right, but I can make more leaf dispensers, can't I? Nope. Okay, so let's just say I did this. What will happen here if I, like... I guess I need another mixer or something. Or this sequencer can dispense a coffee cup or something. So maybe this is like plugged into the wall and they've got a coffee plumbing situation going on somehow. That would be nice, right? Or maybe someone filled up this with beans. Who knows? So actually, don't just dispense a cup. Give me a sequencer. That's going to start this one. And this is going to dispense a cup. And grind, and extract, and eject. So cup. Grind. Does it say how many times do you... Grind 4 times, then extract once. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extract, eject. Okay, that does work. There are beans in there. Okay, you're not allowed to do both of those things. Fine. Okay, so we can make coffee without having to mess with these leaves or whatever. I thought they might be making tea out of ground up leaves, which is more accurate than it is for, you know, cigarettes are also kind of made of ground up leaves, but they weren't specific about what kind of leaves, so I assume these are oak leaves or something. So, right. We have the problem that I can't use this space because I need this thing to output to there, but I think we could just scoot all of this over, right? And then have space for everything to join up nicely here. Let's make sure that the coffee gets in. Yeah, all right. Oh, I still hadn't really figured out whether I want sorters or routers here. Or, well, no, we determined it's okay for these things to kind of compete for this space. So anyway, we can say stack is -1 plus 9, because we want to stack 9 things on. Like this, right? And this can afford 1 more output, which goes there. So how exactly are we... I guess... I guess we need one of the expensive counters, right? To fuel this thing, because we went when it. When this thing reads 0, we want to push to the right. And after that, we want to push to the left. So what we can do... I guess we need a multiplexer for this. So 0, this is the first pass through this thing, right? Oh, I've run out of inputs on this, huh? Outputs on both my sequencers, so I can't reset this so easily. So it starts out 0. Does it not? Why is... Oh, stuff is only being sent out if there's something there, maybe? Oh, no, because I didn't plug this into anything. So A wants to go right when it's 0, and B wants to go left. Right? Like this. And then, one of them, when it senses, should send a +1 signal to this thing. And then when it's positive, they want to go the other way. Where A goes left and B goes right. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Okay, and then we just need to dispense the second thing and reset the counter appropriately. What is the best way to do that? I don't know. I mean, you could throw a sensor in somewhere. I'm clearly not really fighting for time or expense at this point, so... Oh, I don't know. This should be the easy part. Just like make any arbitrary decision, they're all fine. I mean, I guess this is already the machine that's supposed to dispense the next piece of paper, right? And what is all the other stuff it's doing? Oh, you know what? I bet the coffee machine has a useful time it could send something. Right? Because we know the coffee machine's busy all the time. And it only hits each of these time intervals once. We could just take one of its outputs, like let's say B, and instead of plugging it straight into grind, have it also like... have it go to a mixer, which also dispenses one of these... and have another one of its outputs go to a mixer that also resets the timer. That's cute. So when do we want to dispense the next one? Let's ask instead, how long does it take to get from here to all of them being through these? Because that's a good time to reset, right? So it gets here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 ticks after it reaches here is when we want to reset the counters. That is pretty late. Or no? Not 8 ticks after it reaches heat. Yeah, I guess so, right? So that's 8 after this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, the timers have a delay on them, so I think the last tick here is actually good enough. The problem is I kind of figured that this would be a time that we were already doing something else with the coffee. I can't actually get a 5th signal out of this. I could combine it with one of the existing signals that I have to send, but I can't invent another signal, can I? Well, sure, because the coffee is not at all the bottleneck, right? I can just move D down to the end. And D is actually going to go to a multi-mixer here that ejects and oh, wait a minute. This thing already has a signal for dispensing paper. It's resetting the timer that this is going to do. Okay, yeah. So wasn't it like this or something? Is how I... Oh, but that would dispense the second paper way too soon, right? Actually, that's not too bad, is it? That gets these two combined really nicely. I just have to, like, adjust how many times we push right, don't I? Because we get to this state when we've cut up exactly once, and everything is over here. After this, I just want to always push left again, right? So I don't actually have to reset these at all for the second one. Assuming there won't be any collisions. So wait, is it just right then? Do I not have to do anything? No, these, hang on. Why did... Ah, no, it's not the case that everything's over here. But after this, I want to start, not now, but after this. So can I just start this at, like, started at -1 or something? Ah, the problem is I have it outputting on 0 and on positive. On minus, it won't do anything. Okay. So what I can do instead, I think, is have the timers, the counters start off positive at like +2, because we want to split, we want to push right twice. And then whenever we do push right, we decrement by 1, but only if it's not already 0, which is perfectly achievable with a mixer that has an enable sensor on it, right? And then we have 0 push everything left forever. Okay, so I don't think I need to do this junk with the coffee grinder. I can just take this, plug it into eject, and move this back up here. This is a little bit imposing to rewire this all. So let's say a +2 is our starting state. And -1 is what we do when this senses, but only when this 0 is, when this is positive. Now we need to set it to +2 when things start, which is here. So when it's positive, currently we're sending A left, which is not what we want. We want A to go right. So we need to like swap these and swap those, I think. I don't really believe this is correct, but I don't remember what I've missed. So let's just see what goes wrong. Oh, look at that. Oh, no! It was all lining up so nicely. But this got in the way. Maybe I can just throw a stacker in there. I don't think you can stack cigarettes without putting them on a tray, though, right? Now, I think we could fix this problem. Oh no, could we though? I was about to say, couldn't we just delay sending in the second bit of paper? Oh, we could delay sending out the coffee, I think. Because the coffee got in the way a little bit. Nope. It would be better if we could send the coffee out. Actually, what if we never sent the coffee out? Do the cigarettes collide with each other, or do they all make it there? Because if I'm debugging the wrong thing, it's kind of a waste of time. Yeah, the cigarettes collide with each other. Okay. Oh, I thought I had figured out this cool, like, way to get these things. Because, like, if I delay sending out the second paper, then I'm not going to have this problem. There just won't be enough cigarettes out there to cause trouble. This is so close, too. You know what? Since this is the one backing up, I can actually do like that, probably, and just buy myself a little buffer space. So B, instead of ever going right, why don't you go through and see if that helps? Very funny. Now there's collisions down here. I mean, it's absolutely possible to just send through one piece of paper, wait for like a whole bunch of time, and then send another through, and there won't be any collisions. I was just trying to do things faster and with less fiddling with this clock. It's not a clock. Oh. Also, I mean, given our current problems, maybe it's not the best idea in the world. But I could send the coffee through here? I think that's horrible, right? Well, no, it does let me send the coffee out, like, right away. Because then it navigates this whole area before the cigarettes even start fighting you for time, right? Yeah. Okay, so what if instead of going left, B went straight? Does that delay things too much? Or does it buy us precious time? Not enough. What the hell? There's 1 million cigarettes up there. Why didn't they get to go anywhere? Because this one gets priority, but we never send anything there, right? Okay, step. Oh, this. Ha 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 ha. It started sending right again. Right, that's the problem. It's not how long this one takes. I thought it might, like, slowing this one down might help somehow, but it doesn't. So maybe there's some way to delay without making any huge changes. Well, okay, I guess another thing we could try is this. And that lets us use a slightly larger buffer here. I don't think it's large enough. Oh my god, it is. No, it's not! Ah, but, if we added this little trick, it might be. Right? So instead of going right, go straight? I don't think so. I bet these pile up a little... They pile up early enough that they're a problem, right? Yeah. Because there's 4 of them. But, okay, I mean, we could make even more buffer space like this, couldn't we? Like that? Alright, why fix the problem when you can just, like, add time delays and hope things work out? There we go. Very slow, very expensive, but it works. More like a concept than a food stall. The cigarettes were very dry and hard to swallow, but the flavor was pretty good. No idea what this was about. Little breads? I I don't know how to pronounce French. C'est un parfait? Does parfait mean perfect, or is it a parfait? I don't really know. Anyway, back to the thing. Let's see what's up for next time. The commissary. Oh, prison food? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.